if you have Spotify, search Mr. Rogers, just Mr. Rogers, and look at all the albums he has and just start playing them. They're pretty good. I would like to make some music, but I don't know how I would make anything better than his. They're really like they cut it to the irreducible sort of style. And it's Noran says hi, just a random person says hi. We have one guy that comes in all the time. You're right, you know that, and he calls one stupid guy. I can't remember exactly what it is. One stupid guy. Hi, Keyboard Cat from Go Black GT. Goku Black. Lucas says hi. It's Northern. It's Noran says yo. Maverick the Master. Fangirl. Hi, the BFS Fangirl 2025. Hi, it's Connie. Hey, Connie. How you doing? Glad to have you around. Goku Black GT says this is my favorite stream. That's pretty nice. We don't have a ton of people watching, but the people that watch seem like they really like it. So maybe we can grow. We'll see what happens. We're going to do whatever we're going to do. That's for sure. Freddy Fazbear. Maverick the Master says, I love the piano cat. Yeah. Hey, okay, so the painting we're going to do today is fun. So stick around for that. Stick around, just stick around. We're not going to be on that long, maybe 50 minutes, maybe an hour, maybe 40 minutes, but stick around. I think it might grow on you, not like a wart, but as something good, I think. I've been reading, Even Cowgirls Get the Blues, and I'm liking it. Actually, I'm listening to it on Spotify as this girl reads it, and the girl reading it is funny herself. She laughs sometimes and she screws up, and it's fun. She yawns. Last night I was listening for a while. She yawned a couple of times. Ooh, just a random person had Nutella toast with fruity pebbles on top. Whoa. Japanese Glory says hi again. We did a couple of commercials with Keyboard Cat for Starburst candy. I don't eat a lot of them, but I do eat them, and I eat them. Yeah, I eat them quite a bit. Yeah. So let's see, what was I going to play today? I had a video. Well, it's kind of when my daughter was in high school, she had some friends who wanted to make a video for school, and they called and said, we want to make a video about you, Charlie. And I was flattered, and it was pretty cool. And somebody says, I love you, Keyboard Cat. Somebody. Let's see, who is that? Who does that song? Oh, I need somebody. Is that Kings of Leon? It's a good song. I like it. Cinnamoroll. All right, bear with me now. Hear me out on this guitar, dog. I hope you are doing fine, and I am. Songs says, I'm not sure I know if this is a question, but keyboardcat.com just brings you to the YouTube channel, which is where the center of the YouTube Keyboard Cat world is. Here's this sort of a documentary, and of course my last name is Schmidt, and I can't remember who first told me maybe it was my dad. Schmidt happens. So I made a hat for my dad that says Schmidt happens on it. And I've got it on my office wall right now. And they start this documentary by zooming over to that. And that's the title, Schmidt happens. What do I think about Brazil country? I love it. I would like to get there. Okay, now stand by because we're going to play Schmidt happens. Let's do this. Nicely done, Charlie. I'm Charlie Schmidt. I live right here in beautiful Spokane, and I'm an artist. If I came from another planet and someone showed me all around the world, all the occupations, all the continents, and said, what would you like to be if you were going to be here for a while? I would say an American artist. I think I sort of had an aptitude for art. My little radish story illustrates this, that a radish seed knows how to become a beautiful radish without going to college or taking antidepressants or going to church or getting counseling or anything. It just knows how. So I contend that people have that too, that something's in there that we just know how to do, and we don't need to be taught it. We just need to identify it and be it. And I think that was in there somehow, this art thing. Like I say, my family wasn't particularly artistic. I went to Gonzaga Prep. They didn't even have art. For 4 years, I had zero art. In fact, when I drew, I got in trouble. I got hacks for drawing. So, but I kept doing it. And my sister was going with this guy named Tom Little, and he was like an artist. And he's not anymore. I don't know what he does, but then he really was an artist, and I spent a lot of time with him, and we were good buddies. I was just a kid, and he was older. He watered that art seed in me, and it wasn't getting watered any other way, but he did, and it's like, it sprouted. In the early 80s, 84, I guess that's the middle 80s, I got a video camera, and I really didn't deserve it because it cost a lot, and other people paid for it, and I ended up with it, and I had to pay it off. But I had this video camera, and I was just making videos. I didn't have a job, and I mean, my house was really cold. It was winter, and the toilet was frozen, literally. There was, like, I could get ice skate on there if you were a little guy. But I was making these videos, like, for no reason at all, because, I mean, maybe if I lived in LA, someone would want them, but in Spokane, the chances of somebody wanting a video like the kind I were making is real skinny. 2 of these videos that I made then turned out to be what I do with my life, but it would happen during this golden week back then. One of them was this thing I did with my nose, just improvised it, as well as the one with the cat. We shot those almost the same day. My friend, Richard Tweet, and he bought an expensive camera. Richard bought this really expensive camera, an edit deck, and his wife was really mad. So she liked me, so he asked me if I would come over a few nights a week and make some videos with him, and then Kathy would think that his purchase was good. And so I did, and one of the very first nights, we're just making stuff up. We didn't have an agenda or a script or anything. We had a camera and a light. I had brought a blaster with me, and it was playing the theme from Love Boat, love, exciting and new. And it was just playing, and I'd seen the show a lot of times. Warhol was on it once. And I just started moving my nose to the beat of the music while I mouthed the words, because I'm a drummer, so I can sort of move my hands and my mouth at the same time. And that just happened. We entered it into a funny video contest at a local TV station, and we won first prize. And later, we found out we were the only entry, but we still won first. And we won free video rentals in Coeur d'Alene, which we didn't take advantage of, and they said they'd send our tape to a Hollywood producer. So we were ready to quit our jobs, but no, really, we just thought it was hilarious, and it was great. And then when that started like dying down, this cat thing took off because YouTube came around. If it was keyboard dog, well, there wouldn't be as much cat pee on the rug, I'll tell you that. It would be different in that dogs and cats have a different aura, a different spirit, a different ilk. The internet is random, and art wants
my kind of art wants to be random. I like seeing what happens when you have some controlled accidents and you take advantage of them rather than you just try and make what you wanted originally happen. Dogs are not as random. This whole random thing is, I mean, cats are unpredictable. I don't even know on a daily basis when I get a job if it's what's going to happen, because he's a cat, and that makes it different. Well, Bento, my friend, the keyboard cat, was a pound cat, and we picked him up as a gesture of love and as a reincarnation of the real keyboard cat who died in the early 90s. The original video was shot in the early 80s, and so by the time it got famous, he was a goner. Then he started getting work, so I thought I better get another cat, and Bento was the cat. Oh, fame has affected my cat in many ways. Look at him. That's his life. He just sits there. Bento! Hey! Snap out of it.
How do they make Starbursts taste so juicy?
The Juicy Dragon? They show funny videos to a giggly dragon. He laughs so hard that he cries super juicy tears, and they put him in the Starbursts. You didn't know that? Everybody knows that.
A juicy dragon?
When we got him from the pound, we didn't know it, but he was pretty sick. And I started making videos with him and then getting jobs, and we got a big job from Microsoft with him, and then he had one coming up for Wonderful Pistachios, but he was sick, and really sick. And so it was really hard, and it cost a ton of money to save him. And so that sort of changed his life, because he had one. And then when he started getting really famous, he just started at first just like laying around and just going through bags of catnip like it was nothing, and drinking beers and stuff. Bento, we gotta talk, man. You got a serious problem. All you do is huff catnip all day, hit the jug. It ain't right. You can't even hold your head up anymore. This is embarrassing. But now he's come down to earth again. He's been in rehab a couple of times, and he's pretty good. Now we're just friends, and he doesn't take advantage of his fame, and so we're good. We've helped each other immensely. Years ago, it was my wife's idea, and I had a weird little animated toy and one of these stuffed cats. And she said, you should take the skin off that cat and put it on this guy and give him a little piano. So I designed the box and made it like it really existed. And then it doesn't even play the right song. It plays, look at, I mean, it's rough. And it plays, what is that, limbo rock. So it's just completely wrong, but I made a video and put the right music to it and put it online, and like, it's almost up to 1 million hits, and about every third one was somebody wanted to order it. So we looked for a company to make it. That was hard, really hard, without getting ripped off. So then the company, Think Geek, they contacted us and said they'd take 5 cases, and we said, well, we don't even have any. And they went, what? How could it be? Then we saw it. So they couldn't get them, and then a few months later, they contacted us and said, if you still don't have anybody to make them, we'll do it. They did a much better job. I mean, look at this guy, looks like he's on like meth. Doesn't he? Look at him. He's like a neurotic bad cat. Jay Leno, I was on that show 3 times actually. And this was the first time, and then this is the second time. I was married and had Sydney. Look at the color of his hair changed just a little there. I was on a show in Hungary, Budapest, Hungary, with Meatloaf. He was the only other American on the show. So we partied. We stayed in the same hotel and we partied. He's just the coolest guy. I have another pic. here he was after I did my act, and he came over and just went, that was really cool. Robert Crumb, he's major, he's Museum of Modern Art. He came to town and to do a lecture series, and the guy who was supposed to put him up, his house was under construction, so they said, can he stay with you? And I said, oh, okay. So he stayed with me for 4 days, and it was in the loony bin where his sister was, and it was in an elevator, and I was an inmate of the place. See, I'm wearing kind of like a nightshirt, like a patient in the hospital, and he and I were riding in this elevator, and when we're going up, he's dressed like that, and I'm like this, and I'm just really giving him the stink eye, and I say a couple things to him, and then he kind of smiles and goes out. It was really, everyone was cracking up. Well, you guys know this guy, Scumbag Steve. You know, the way that happened was somebody just lifted a picture from his Facebook page and started writing crap on it and like ruined his life. He was like really depressed over it because everyone would look and go, you're that guy, and he wasn't getting a penny for it, and he was a scumbag. And so my manager got a hold of him, and then they started doing these really high production value rap videos because he's a rapper. Every Thursday they dropped a new music video, and they were like killer. And so all of a sudden, people see Scumbag Steve, and he's a real guy, and he's a good musician. And so it just went totally viral. I don't think the world of art will really change, because I think some people just are born to be artists, and they want to experiment, and they want to help, and they want to see what happens. They're curious. They're just curious. The tools may change. I mean, when the guys did cave paintings, they had some pigments, and now you got cameras and phones and the internet and spray paint. I mean, spray paint's pretty cool. And so I think no matter what tools come up, the spirit will be the same, and that some of it will be mainstream, and most people will go, oh my gosh, it's wonderful. And some of it will be fringy and really cool, and it will be difficult. And I don't think those things are going to change. All of Warhol's stuff, but in particular the Soup Can series, really impresses me as being an outstanding form of modern art, because he simply changed the context of something and made a huge thing happen. If you got to get into your house by tearing off sheets of plywood and cutting holes with chainsaws, that's a lot of work. But if you can just, the guy that figured out you just put a key in there and turn it and you get in, now that's good. It takes less. And Warhol was able to just carry literally a can of soup from the A&P market to the Leo Castelli Gallery and just rock the world. So it was probably the single most monumental thing, I think, in modern art for me. Andy Warhol, Thich Nhat Hanh, Andy Kaufman, the Ramones. That's really one of my favorite posters. Warhol, because he was so ahead of his time, and he really understood how to think way out of the box on using media and the news and pop culture to give people a look at themselves, which they found mighty entertaining. He was just clever at that. He said the movie camera was so much easier than painting, because he said you just turn it on. Thich Nhat Hanh, because his philosophy of life, it's very Buddhist, is just, it's the whole story. I mean, if everyone read Thich Nhat Hanh, the place would be better. Andy Kaufman had such an effect on me because he could do very little and get a huge response, kind of like Warhol. I mean, his one where he's doing the Superman song, here I come to save the day. For most of his performance, he's doing nothing. And that's the funniest thing in the world. So I like to see how little I can do and how fast I can do it and how far it can go. Going full blast is a big deal for me. You get different work if you go full blast. Even if you screw up, you get different work. It's sort of like, if everything is just right and all your tools are there and the place is warm and you're having a good day and you feel good and the bills are paid and everything, and you're good at what you're doing, then you turn out something called craftsmanship. And this is good, people like it. But when you're not feeling good and the bills aren't paid and you don't quite have the materials you need and you do it anyway, full blast, that's how you get style. I have a friend in New York who's an art dealer, and I asked him, what should I do? And he said, forget cats for a while and do something else. He said, you do good paintings of people that are not very likable. And I didn't even know that I had ever done a good painting, let alone one of somebody that was likable. So I figured from that I might experiment with doing bad drawings of bad people. And now this, to me, is a bad painting. I mean, it's just hideous. But that it's Lyndon Johnson, it's good, because why would a guy like me have a painting, even want a painting of Lyndon Johnson? You know, I'm not proud of it, but see that right there? I shot him with my BB gun. I was so sure he killed Kennedy that it was in my bedroom once. I was laying in my bed and my BB gun just went. So then I also did, you guys will like this, I did Lee Harvey Oswald. And it just turned out that it was the week that then all this stuff is on TV. So I put these online and then people are going, wow, great timing, you know. It was an accident. And then I did Dick Cheney. And that's probably my favorite one. And then I did a drawing of the guy who told me to do bad drawing. So just doing stuff with my free time. And when you have free time, instead of worrying about that there's nothing to do or you don't have a customer, just start doing junk. And then you have stuff. You can't argue with your scrapbook. That's an important one. That's a Warhol line. You can't argue with your scrapbook. So make it as good as you can. My experimental sensibility affects everything I do. It isn't like my art's here and my family's here and my job is here and my security is here. It's just one big circle and they all fit in there and hopefully turn smoothly. And so for me, my hair, the hair on my head, is another medium to experiment with. So I'm always doing different things with it. It'll grow back and I get a response with it. You know, sometimes I can weed out people that probably I shouldn't be talking to with the way that I look. Some people have natural things that may make them less likely to succeed. And so I kind of like to impose a few on myself and then just see how people respond. Well, I love street art. Again, it's more random. You know, to me, anything, anywhere has got a better chance than art in a gallery, because art in a gallery is concise and predicted and approved by the curator and framed and polished and you know. So stuff that just happens interests me a lot more. I mean, I've always said I can look at the shelves of a grocery store and be way more entertained than most art galleries, for real. The street artists, you know, Banksy and Shep Ferry, I think those guys are just terrific, because it's not vandalism. I mean, they're not trying to, you know, put people down. They're just trying to express themselves and they get it out there. It's sort of like the internet of the street. You get it out there, and I'm just crazy about it. I'm a big Banksy fan. In fact, I did, you know, Banksy has that documentary called Exit Through the Gift Shop. So I liked it so much, I did a parody on it called Exit Through the Pet Shop. You know, if the police around here weren't shooting people as much, I'd be tagging all over. It's like anything. If you tag to harm and to make the campground worse than when you got there, then I don't approve of it. But if you're doing it because it's something you love and you want to share, I wouldn't be doing it across the front of someone's store. But there are a lot of places, obviously, that it can be done. And so the only thing makes it different is your motives. If a gang's doing it to make sure that some other gang knows that if they come there, they're going to get their butt kicked, then I don't like it. But if somebody's, you know, like Banksy is putting up, you know, pictures of rats climbing under things, and I mean, just weird contextual stuff, I just love it. I'm part of the youth culture. And I just find it super exciting, because most old people get really tired and they just don't do stuff anymore. Yeah, I bought a grill last week. So I'm going to make sure that doesn't happen. I'm 62 and I'm going faster than I did when I was 20. I was a kid in the 60s, 50s and 60s, and in the late 60s I was going to college, and it was really a youth movement. I mean, we were protesting the war in Vietnam, and I was a hippie. And we were against everything that was bad, and I never even knew you could be, you know, the way I was raised. So I really identified with that, and that's my core. While I'm doing stuff now, I'm listening to the music that I listened to then, and doing the same stuff that I was motivated to do then. Today's youth, I mean, it's like anything. It's good and bad. Everything is good and bad. I mean, a hammer can build a house or crack your head open. So some of the youth today is, I think, just whacked and lazy and stupid and wrong, just like adults. And some of the youth are on fire, and it's exciting because if you have talent and you have morals at the same time, you can help the place. I would tell all students to identify what you love to do and do it full blast every day, at least some. People who put off, they know what they love to do, but they put it off until they have extra time or extra money. You might get hit by a bus and then you never get to do it. Do what you love full blast, at least a little every day, and do it for the good of man. The reason I do anything is the reason I hope anybody does anything, and that's to make this a better place and to make people feel better. So I do that through videos and art, and I just naturally want people to feel good, and I make art, so that's it. If I cooked, I'd want to make people feel better with my chicken pot pie.
Man, I haven't looked at that in forever. I like it. I think it like maybe is the documentary. It looks good enough. I just got to get a hold of Milo. I really should. I'm going to see about that. I think that this is a good thing. Well, let me write Milo on my to-do list for things after this. Milo. Look at all the stuff I got on there. Milo, Ben, the Rove Lab, their furniture, Bento. Oh, this, you don't need to know all this. Ben, money, Ryle, Medicare. That's something you get when you're old. Okay, here we are. And there he is. I didn't even know he was in the room. Well, Mr. Presley. Are you awake? Wake up, sleepyhead. I got a little treat for you. If you just play the keyboard or the trombone or banjo, anything you want, for a little bit, I give you an extra little treat from the garden. Fresh harvested catnip. Don't you want some of that? Don't you need some of that? Meow. Okay, let's see. For the last few days, he hasn't been doing much. Oh, my niece gave me this washcloth for my birthday. Isn't it great? Look at that design. I so dig that. Here's a dimensional space card that makes it look like you're in moving through space. When you rock it around, you getting some of that? That's probably pretty good. You could almost just imagine you're in space from these different angles. Okay, oh, there's somebody. There he is. Anything happening we should know about? I hear some purring coming out of that noggin. I think it comes from the head. Well, it's not the tail, I can tell you that much. Let's see. We'll give him a little bit of a treat here. I gotta climb up, you know, because this is up on top. He likes to spend his time up there. Hey, he got some catnip, but I'm still just gonna sprinkle a little of it on his forearm, and he will have to clean it off. Maybe not right away, but sooner than later. Closer. Getting between the toes. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Clean that paw. At least give us a great shot of you licking. Well, I guess maybe we're getting one. Here's a little meme for you. It's just keyboard cat licking. He still won't clean off that paw that I tainted. There he goes. There he goes. All right, now we're into some serious. I could zoom in a little on that probably and make something pretty graphic. It's a pretty good way to use a vertical format. What is it? Is it human? Good boy. Very good boy. As he continues to lick, I think we're going to take a few steps this way. Hopefully stepping down and not falling down. Let's put this back over here. And then I have some keyboard cat, I have some keyboard cat merch here that I'm gonna stick on a painting that we're gonna do today and then write stuff around it. Dig that. Okay. So here is lights off. Yeah, we got him. He's happy. We know he's happy. So yeah, we got this. Here, let's get this piece of paper framed up. Hey, you know what? I gotta have a drink. Not alcohol, but just H2O or something with H2O within it. Here's some bubbly. My name. Bubbly. Let me get this sucker open. Oh, man, that helped. So let's come around this way and put that in the whatchamadingy this way. And then we can definitely zoom in. Okay, there we are at this point. And what I was gonna do was put like this. This is like a head sheet, like an actor's head sheet that you send out to get work back in the day when you did business by mailing something to somebody or tried to do business. And this one says Love Keyboard Cat. You can buy these from me at the link in the description of this video to eBay. And it's got his signature and a little paw print, and then I sign it my own self. So this, for now, we're just gonna put it on here. Like that with tape, let it show. And then we have this Keyboard Cat sticker that's kind of like Andre, the giant one. And this one that's just a Charlie Schmidt design with a simplified cat's noggin. And they're sticky. It really is pure chance that there would be this song with this situation, and boy, I am liking it. I'm trying to get this thing open. Bugs me. I'm using the X-Acto blade now. Well, can I even get this one to stick? This is just called trouble in the studio. There's that one. Here's one of these, but it's got paint all over it. Maybe it'll peel back because it's older. Yeah, it's peeling back. Older and scuzzier. Right there. And then I have a button that says, I met Keyboard Cat, that I have a million of. And It's got a pin on the back. It's a cool little button. And that's gonna go on here somewhere too. Maybe right on it. Yeah, way the heck over here. Well, that looks good. So now, it really makes me think, what do I want to do to it? I like it. I like the shapes. Something makes me want to spray paint around it, but not really. And yes, a little spray paint. Now I figured out where. Right here. That feels good. No, I'm thinking, it reminds me kind of a head, a noggin, and then it's opened up and things are coming out of it. It's kind of trying to be like that. So considering that, what should be coming out of that noggin? It could be some of your names. Let's put people's names, viewers' names in there. Modified AKM. Was it modified? AKM modified. Okay. Anybody else? Windy. Names, yeah. Is anybody, I could, if someone suggests I put their name on this drawing, I would do it. Otherwise, I'm gonna put names of some of my favorite things like hot dogs. Lucas, okay, Lucas. Ethel and me. Lucas and Japanese Glory. Japanese Glory. Any others? Yay, Japanese Glory. Yeah, yeah. Lucas, let's go. Barnes, Ethel. You're welcome. Ethel. I like that name, Ethel. And I like Mabel, Mabes. We have a cat in our family named Mabes. Oll. Holy box. Well, let's put Kula on here, even though I don't think she's on today. Is that looking any good? Anybody else? Is somebody? Oh, it's getting edited. Somebody said something not disrespectful. I mean, you know what I mean. How about Nichidai, my old college? Yeah, it's good. Anybody else want to get their name on this drawing? That will be quite a spectacle in and of itself. Let's just go around and apply a little color here and there to kind of squeezing camera. Hello? We don't speak Portuguese. Well, that's Ethel. We got Ethel in Japanese glory. It's the Spanish. Joaquin. Yeah. I think, is that almost an hour? 51? It's kind of a good piece so far. I'm going to zoom in on it a little. I'm not going to say it's done.